Hi students, in this session we are going to discuss about the modern periodic table. Then position of the periodic table in the element. Usually the hydrogen where it is placed, and the helium where it is placed. Then the remaining elements, that is alkali metals, alkaline metals, transition metals, then metalloids, non-metals. So where it is placed, these mainly discuss about the modern periodic table. Then the trends in the modern periodic table also we are going to discuss, that is valency, atomic size, non-metallic and metallic properties also we are going to discuss. See the modern periodic table. See here Henry Moseley showed that the atomic number of the element is a more fundamental property than its atomic masses is described. Like that is, accordingly, the Mendeleev periodic law was modified and atomic number was adopted as the basis of the modern periodic table, and the modern periodic law is usually stated as the properties of elements are a periodic function of their atomic number. So just recall that atomic number gives us a number of the proton in the nucleus of an atom, and this number increased by 1 is going from one element to the next element. So the elements when arranged in order of the increasing atomic number, so they are called modern periodic table. That is, the prediction of the properties of elements could be made with more precision when elements were arranged on the basis of the increasing atomic number. See, in a modern periodic table, hydrogen is placed in the first element, then the second is helium is placed here. There are 18 groups are there, 1 to 18. So the group 1 and the group 2 is called alkali metals. See here only metals are placed. Then look at here, from 3 to 12, these are called transition elements. So here also called D block, this is S block and this is D block, and group 13 to 18 are called P block. Then this, the lanthanoid and actinoid, this is from lanthanum and the series of actinum, the group 6, this is called a period. So the 6th and 7th period consisting lanthanum and actinum, these groups are called inner transition elements or F block element. Inner transition or F block elements. So here the group 1, group 2 is alkali and this is transition metal. This P block, many of the metals and non-metals, that is metalloids and the non-metals elements are present in this side. Then the lanthanoids and actinoids, the lanthanoids having the metals like, then the actinoids are heavily radioactive elements are present there. So this is the modern periodic table arrangements. I will show you the modern periodic table. See, this is the modern periodic table. Can you see the first two groups are from hydrogen. See, the hydrogens are placed in the first element, then the heliums are in the last group 18 elements. Then the first two groups are called alkali metals, then scandium to zinc, that is the 3D series, that is transition element. Then the group 13, from that group 13 is called P block element. Up to group 13 to up to group 18 elements are called P block element. Then the last below, that is two transition series are present, that is lanthanoids and actinoids. These are called F block elements. Now the position of elements in the modern periodic table. See, the modern periodic table has 18 vertical column. The 18 vertical column is called groups. There are 18 groups. Then 7 periods are there. That is, the horizontal row is called period. So this is the modern periodic table arrangement. See, you know that any groups, for example, group 1 and group 2, that alkali metal element. Usually the group 1 element, for example, one of the element is sodium. Then the group 2 elements, that is one is magnesium. Here, what is the atomic number of the sodium? Sodium having 11, then the magnesium having 12. So the electronic configuration will be 2, 8, 1, then this 2, 8, 2. This having sodium and magnesium. Suppose the similar group, suppose sodium, potassium, suppose you have potassium and calcium for this group. Here the potassium having 19, the atomic number is 19, so the electronic configuration will be 2, 8, 8, 1. Then the calcium having the 20 atomic number, so 2, 8, 8 and 2. Look at this, the sodium and magnesium having, this is the magnesium and calcium, for 20 is calcium, and this is for sodium and potassium for 19. Look at this, the valence electronic configuration. Here the valence electrons are only one in the group 1 element. It may be potassium or sodium, whatever it is, the group 1 element, the valence cell is only 1 electrons are present. For group 2 element, the valence electrons are 2. See, magnesium having 2 electrons in the outer cell, and the calcium also having 2 electrons in the outer cell. That means they have a similar valence cell electron. So that is why they exist +1 oxidation state only for group 1 element, and the group 2 element they exist only +2 oxidation state. This oxidation state you are going to learn in higher classes. See, here you will find that these elements, that's mean, see, do not have the same number of valence electron. For example, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen. So these elements do not have the same valence electron. See, but they contain the same number of cell. So you also observe that the number of valence cell electrons increase by 1 unit as the atomic number increases by 1 unit on moving from left to right in a period. So, or we can say that the atom of different element with the same number of occupied cells are placed in the same period, like sodium, magnesium, aluminum, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, chlorine and argon belongs to the third period of the modern periodic table. So, the electrons in the atoms of these elements are filled in the K shell, L shell, M cell. So, write the electronic configuration of the elements for, see, suppose the second and the third and fourth row periods, like the number of electrons, that is the number of elements, the periodic table based on the electrons are filled in the various cell, like K shell, L cell, M shell, like this. So, here the maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated in the cell depends upon the formula, that is 2n square formula. Here n, the n is the number of the given cell from the nucleus. For example, K shell 2 into, suppose n is equal to 1 means what? 2 into 1 square, it will become 2. So hence the first period has 2 elements. That is why hydrogen and helium were placed in the modern periodic table. Then next element having L shell, that is 2 into n is equal to 2 means 2 square, so it will become 8. So hence the second period has 8 elements. Then M cell, look at this, 2 into 3, n is equal to 3 means 3 square, it will become 18. So, but outermost cell can have only 8 electrons. So the third period also has only 8 elements. So the position of the elements in the periodic table tells about it's chemically reactive. Already you learned that the valence electron determine number of bonds formed by an element. Okay. Then trends in the modern periodic table. The valency and atomic size, metallic and non-metallic properties we will discuss. See the trends in the modern periodic table, mainly valency, atomic size, metallic and the non-metallic properties. Here the valency, as you know that valency of element is determined by the number of valence electron present in the outermost cell of its atom. Then the atomic size, the term of atomic size refer to the radius of an atom, that is the atomic size may be visualized the distance between the center of the nucleus and the outermost cell of the isolated atom. So the hydrogen atom having the 37 picometer. Usually the 1 picometer is, it converts to meter, means 1 picometer is equal to 10 power minus 12 meter. So this is conversion of meter. Then see metallic and the non-metallic properties. See the metals like sodium, magnesium are towards the left hand side to the periodic table, that is group 1 and the group 2 element. Then while the non-metals like sulfur, chlorine, then the carbon usually found in the right hand side, and the middle we have the silicon, which is classified the semi-metal or metalloids, because they exist some properties both metals and the non-metallic character. So in the modern periodic table they have a already you've seen that the zigzag line is separated metal from and the non-metal. So the borderline elements boron, silicon, germanium, arsenic, antimony, tellurium and the poloniums are the intermediate properties are called metalloids or semi-metals. Okay. Then the effective nuclear charge, usually the effective nuclear charge acting on the valence electron increases across the period. The tendency to lose electron will decrease. So down the group the effective nuclear charge experienced by valence electron is decreasing because of the outermost electrons are further away from the nucleus. So can be lost easily the electron. Then metallic character decreases across the period and increases down the group. Then the non-metals usually they are electronegative in nature. They tend to form the bonds by gaining of electron. Then the electronegativity source usually in the non-metals are found on the right hand side of the periodic table towards the top. Then these trends also helps to predict the nature of the oxides formed by the elements, because known that the oxides of metals are basic and the non-metals are acidic in nature. Hi students, today we were seeing modern periodic table. The modern periodic table, hydrogen where is placed, helium also where is placed, then alkali and alkaline earth metals where it is placed, that also we were discussed. Then the properties, metallic and the non-metallic properties, valency and atomic size, that is also we were seeing. So in this video very useful, that is how the elements are classified, how to property, that is how based on the properties or arrangements of the elements like alkali metals, alkaline metals, then the transition metals. So all the things we were discussed in this video.